Hey guys, so you know there's that jazz kind of harmonically more interesting sound that you can't actually get using just scales and just arpeggios and even just chromatic notes. I want to teach you today how to work with harmonic functions numbers. Uh, the sound of that is something more or less like this. I hope you get the idea. And what I was doing is trying to highlight numbers, harmonic functions like nines and 13s. And I'd like to show you how to master numbers. It's so important for improv. And I'll give you some very practical exercises, I hope. So first, let me quickly recap something that I've taught in a previous lesson about how to extend chords, part 1 and part 2. I recommend you watch that so you can take full advantage of this video. But let me just show you the key point, what we learned there. And it simply allows you to know which numbers go on each chord. And once I know that, I can do stuff for improv. So I'm just recapping. So we have major 7s, and they accept, generally speaking, tensions a whole step above the chord tones, 9, sharp, 11, and 13. We have dominants, which accept 9, sharp, 11, and 13. And in addition, they have the altered tensions, which are flat 9, sharp 9, and flat 13. We have the minor 7s that accept 9, 11, and 13. And we have the half diminished, which accepts 9, 11, and flat 13. Okay? And if you're not clear why I'm doing it that way, you can really watch these other videos on the channel just to figure that part out. Okay, so now I'm going to try to explain to you how I work with this information in improv. And I'll do this by, at first, playing a little solo and ending all my phrases on the 9. So you'll get a sense of how this stuff sounds, okay? So check this out. And what you're looking for is the sound of a 9 at the end of all phrases, okay? You won't see me, but you can really look for how I end phrases. And notice how I end phrases, for example, on 9s, you're going to hear this sustaining quality. And then I'll teach you how to acquire this for yourself. Okay. Okay, something like that. So how do we get to that place where we really master numbers? Let me give you some helpful advice. The first step would be to actually learn all the relationships between the notes in the chord. So for example, if All the Things You Are has F minor 7 as its first chord, then I would really learn, first of all, how to spell the chord tones. I think it's quite essential to be pretty quick at spelling triads, major and minor. So it's quite easy for me to say that F minor 7 has F, A flat, and C. And of course the 7, which is E flat. And then learn how to find the tensions in relation to the chord tones. So an easy way to think about nines is things that live a whole step above the root, right? So in F minor 7, it's simply that G, right? The 11 is something that lives a whole step above the 3. So if I'm in F minor 7, that would be B flat. And a 13 is something that lives a whole step above the 5, which in this case is D. Okay, so basically I do some calculations and then I start practicing. Let me show you the visual part. I'll be playing all the things you are, and I'll be simply saying the 3s for the whole song, and then the 5s, and then the 7s. Let me show you what I mean. Very, very important exercise, I think. Could help a lot. Okay, so I'm starting with 3s. I'm just simply saying the name of the note. No big deal. A flat, D flat, G, C, F, B, E. Okay, and once I'm comfortable with the 3s, I'll do the same for the 5s. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D, G. Okay, and I do this for the whole song. You can do something introductory like saying the whole harmonic tree, like looking at F minor 7 and going, okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, which is F, A flat, C, D flat, G, B flat, and D. So if you know all the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13s of each chord, then you can practice saying only one of them at a time. It's very, very helpful. I really think so. Okay, let me show you a weird one, which is, for example, 11. B flat, E flat, A, D, G, C sharp, F sharp. Okay, so that's the first step. We can simply call that being able to create the vertical relationships, meaning to see the chord very, very quickly and to really spell it out in time. The second thing I would try to do is actually sing it. So in All Things You Are, it's pretty funny because if I'm playing, oops, let me get my mute out of the way. So if I'll be singing, for example, 3s, it's literally the melody. E, but it can get really interesting when you do like the 9. Sorry, I'm not a great singer, but I do know the pitches. And singing it really connects you to the chord because it reminds me that a very strong reason why I'm playing a given note and not some other note is not its relationship to the scale, because this song, for example, has a lot of scales. It's the specific relationships to the notes. Okay, so first step was really saying the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And I just want to remind you that on the dominants, there's also the cool flat 9, sharp 9, flat 13, which often sounds actually better. So you practice this a lot until you can really, at a slow tempo, name each of the chord tones. And I really recommend, I've seen this a lot with my students, if you don't have your major triads together and your minor triads together, and if you don't understand how accidentals work on scales, you'll have a lot of trouble doing this. So really get the basic theory of learning the major and minor triads, and then practice playing it. Now let me demo the playing. What I'll be doing is, I'll show you my guitar this time. I'll be playing All Things You Are, and I'll be isolating, for example, the 9s. I'll be doing it only on the top string. Okay, that was a demonstration. So basically, I'll take a single string and I'll play just the threes. Then I'll play just the fives. Okay, and what you'll find is something pretty interesting. You'll get really correct relationships with the chords, but it won't sound very melodic because the distance between notes in a song that has a lot of roots that move by fourths, it's going to create a lot of movement. And let me show you the cool second step. So once I'm a master of numbers, meaning I can really, really understand which number I'm playing on each chord, I can practice connecting numbers intelligently. And I'll do this with all kinds of funny rules. Here's one rule that I really enjoy. It's a game called minor second or major second. I just start somewhere. I'll start on G because it's the 9 of F. It's fun. And I'll play the funny game of trying to make a melodic line by either moving by a half step or by a whole step. And each decision is governed by my brain's like scanning. What's ahead? If I'm on F minor 7, my next chord is B flat minor 7. If I'll move a half step, I'll get A flat, which is the 7, which is very cool. But if I'll move a whole step, I'll get the major minor, which is strange. And then you really get a good line constructed of seconds. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so basically you get a line that makes a lot of sense melodically because now it's constructed of seconds and I really, really know my numbers. And the really, really awesome step to take after that is start creating a melody around that line. Remember, I had this line that went... Okay, just harmonize it so you'll hear the notes and the relationship to the chords. And then I start making melodies around that line. Okay, so let me try to do that, and then I'll summarize for you. You get the idea. So what did we learn? Each chord has these extra notes, except the 1, 3, 5, 7 that sound good on it, which are a whole step above the chord tones. If I'm on a C major 7, for example, it's 9, sharp 11, and 13. And then how do I practice this? Step 1, take a bunch of standards and just say the 3 for the whole song, the 5, according to the harmonic tree, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Say each number until your brain reactively can really spit those numbers incredibly quickly. Once you can say it, the next step, play it on your top string, just the 3, just the 5, just the 7, and so on. Learn that on all the strings of the guitar. It's phenomenally difficult, but very, very helpful. It really changed a lot of things for me. It's a very basic improv activity. And once you have all the numbers, then you play the real fun. And sing it, sorry. That's amazing ear training, right? Get to know all these relationships to the 1. Once you're really good with that stuff, then try to connect lines. Remember, I suggested the game of advancing on a single string either by a half step or by a whole step, according to which numbers exist in the future. Okay, so it really, really, really helps the improv. And please like, subscribe. This is a young channel in urgent need of growth. So if it's a lesson that helped you and it made sense for you, Please subscribe and share. Let people know. I think I got some good stuff to say, and I'm really, really trying to share it. And I'm available, of course, for private lessons. So talk to me if you have any questions. And I hope this really helps your guitar playing journey. Bye, guys.